Yo, what's cracking, peeps? T-Money here with you on this gorgeous Sunday evening. Outside doing a poolside collection overview video, trying to get as much of this nice weather that's left. So, I figured I would do another entry in this series. And tonight this will consist of my 18 in total Redemption Films line. And I'm sure most of you guys know, but for those who don't, Redemption Films is a sub-label of Kino. They kind of specialize in foreign horror from Jess Franco, Jean Rollin, Alan Birkinshaw, just a bunch of different directors. But generally speaking, it is foreign, it is older, and yeah, a lot of European directors. So yeah, we'll get right in. I have these in alphabetical order because the sleeves are numbered. I don't know how many there are in the actual Redemption series, but it's ongoing, so it hasn't ended as of yet. But yeah, so I only have 20 of them. There's a lot more than this. I think there's over 50 for sure, So yeah, and there's not really any particular reason why. It's just expensive, and I haven't gotten around to collecting them all yet. That's why I have so little of these. So yeah, let's get right into this, guys. First up, we have one of my favorites, actually. And I don't know why. I hope it's not waterlogged, or the title is looking a little crispy, but this is a film called The Iron Rose by an excellent director, Jean Rollin. I love this guy, and I love this film. I highly recommend this. It's unique. It's about a couple that get lost in a cemetery, essentially. And the whole film is just this atmospheric, eerie, moody vibe type deal with this couple in this gorgeous landscape. These grounds are gorgeous, so if anything, watch this film for the atmosphere. It's worth it. So yeah, highly recommend The Iron Rose. That was number 3. And I'll try and go in numerical order as I go, just so you guys can get a sense of how they are. This is number 5. Again, I don't have them all, so there'll be skips between pretty much every film. So, Fascination. This is another one by Jean Rollin. Not one of my favorites by him, but good all the same. Next up we have number 6, Killer's Moon. Great little slasher, proto-slasher type film from '78. Highly recommend this one. Next up we have another great film by Peter Newbrook, The Asphyx. I'm not sure if they've released a lot of Peter's work, but this is a great film. Highly recommend it. Kind of a weaker entry from Peter Cushing, The Blood Beast of Terror. Not one of my favorites, but here's one. Ooh, I have to put this in a sleeve. I realized. Burke and Hare. One of the original Burke and Hare stories, I believe. And I actually haven't seen this film, so I could be totally wrong saying that's one of the original Burke and Hares. It's directed by Vernon Sewell, but it is a play on the Burke and Hare story. And from what I've read, it's slightly different from traditional Burke and Hare stories as far as film adaptations go. So, next up, we have another great one, The Living Dead Girl, Jean Rollin. Awesome release. And most of these, just to give you an example, there are special features on most of these releases. This one is mastered in HD from the 35mm negative, French with English subtitles, introduction by the director, 4 featurettes by Danielle Goyette, which is huge. Jean Rollin at Fantasia 2007, excerpt of an interview with Jean Rollin by Joshua T. Gravel, 12-page booklet with an essay. So they go all out on these releases. And if you notice, when Kino has their sales, their big sales, they don't normally include the Redemption titles. And I'm starting to wonder if it's because of the quality of the actual films. If that's one of the reasons, not sure. But yeah, I'm really they are packed with special features, just about every single one of these releases. So yeah. Next up we have House of Whipcord. A lot of these were originally released by Shriek Show too, so if if you guys weren't aware, check out Redemption if you had a lot of the Pete Walker films that were released by Shriek Show. There's a good chance that Redemption Films has released them. Next up is a great little slasher film, proto-slasher film from '78 called The Comeback. I really, really enjoyed this. Kind of like a Hag Mask Killer type film. Similar to, The Killer just kind of reminds me of two films actually. And I'm drawing a blank on both of them. Curtains, and then the other one is God, I always forget the name of the film. Sorry guys, Blood something, but anyway, Killer dons a hag mask. Next up is one of my personal favorites. In general, I had the Synapse release of this, and this is probably one of my favorites from this Redemption line as well, easily. I love this zombie film, or Living Dead film from the 70s, 78. Trend here, I'm noticing a lot of these films are from 78, and I'm wondering if they are kind of, if there's a correlation between the, whatchamacallit number, the spine number, and the year that these films were published, or released, I'm not sure. But, yeah, Grapes of Death is an awesome film. And if you guys don't know what it's about, it's a zombie film. It's actually more of like a disease contamination zombie type film, where the grapes have this, the pesticide that they're using for this grape farm in Europe. Grape farm in Europe is obviously contaminated, and it causes people to reanimate, essentially. To rot, die, and then reanimate, I believe. And it's just a great proto-zombie. Well, I wouldn't say proto, because we're not dealing with slashers here. That the term coined in the 80s. No, it's a good older zombie film for sure. Living Dead film. Next up, we have a Jess Franco film. A lot of Pete Walker and Jess Franco releases too by Redemption, which is awesome. The Awful Dr. Orloff, this is a big one, from '62. Next up we have the Flesh and Blood Show, another Pete Walker film. It says includes 3D footage, which is cool. Didn't know the film was actually in 3D, so very cool. Next up we have another cool one, creepy one. The woman in this, there's a scene where, no, it's not even on the cover there, but it's just creepy. I highly recommend Frightmare. Again, packed with special features, Pete Walker features, profile of the actresses, featuring interviews with former collaborators. Sheila Keith, so it's Sheila Keith, a nice old lady, question mark. Profile of the late actress, featuring interviews with her former collaborators. So, yeah, she's really creepy in some scenes in that film, for sure. This is one that Moods 616 had recommended to me a while back. Still actually haven't gotten around to watch it, but I know Celluloid Terror, Seth, had also mentioned that this film was excellent, so I've got to check this out. El Immortal, I believe it's pronounced. El Immortal or something, along those lines. Next up we have another Pete Walker film, House of Mortal Sin. Haven't checked this one out either yet, but looks like it might have Sheila Keith in it again. Not exactly sure, but the woman looks very familiar. So, could be. Next up we have Crimson, also known as The Man with the Severed Head. Really happy to have this one. I think this was actually re-released, or is going to be released by somebody soon, not sure who. And my last two here, I have number 50, which is Daughter of Dracula. Haven't seen this one yet. And last but not least, we have Dr. Orloff's Monster. So, a film by Jess Franco. So, clearly, a lot of Pete Walker, a lot of Jess Franco, a lot of Gene Roland, and many others. So, yeah, I always mix Franco and Walker up. I don't know why. Similar exploitative directors. So, yeah, and I guess for whatever reason, it says Kino Classics on the bottom right corner there. This one does. Most of them don't, but... yeah, guys, so that's my short but sweet Redemption Films haul. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys very soon. Peace out.